Hi, Eric here on CyberZeb, and I am testing out a Blazor over-the-air update I just received that supposedly makes it charge faster. So I am in Waterloo at the Tesla Supercharger, and I'm going to test it out. So here's the update. It's the top one, software update GM N2524945560. Your date might be different here. It's just whatever date this installed, but this is an over-the-air update, so you'll have to have had the radio updates and all the multi-module programming in order to receive that. So make sure you get those first if you haven't already. You kind of know if you have the updates, if you have these controls separate in your RT model or RS model, whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and charge here and test this out. I really like these superchargers because they're right by the front left fender. If you know in the Blazor EV, they're a little hard to get to. So let me go ahead and get that going. Alright, we're starting right at 10%. I'm going to record the screen through the whole video. We're only at 97 kilowatts. We'll see when we jump to 150. So we'll do the typical 15-minute challenge starting from 10%. My battery should be warm. It's 65 degrees and I just put on, I don't know, 50 highway miles at 75 miles an hour. So we should be good there. So we'll see how many kilowatt hours we deliver in 15 minutes. There's CCS chargers here, but let's see. This charger is temporary out of service for a software upgrade. And it's a Mid-American Energy Company charger with CCS and Chatamo, or Chademo, or whatever it is. And both of them are down, so in their Green Lots network. So, you know, it's ridiculous to me that they have to take the chargers offline in order to do a software update. It's like, it should just default to free pay or something. The Tesla Supercharger here is pretty rock solid and always works. This is why with the GM I pretty much exclusively charge either EA, which is pretty good network overall actually with a few exceptions, and Tesla is better, but it also works well with the Blazor EV that is a low voltage vehicle. It's only about 300 volt battery, so it's really low voltage, and so it needs really high current. And the Tesla superchargers are good for that. So we're up to 152 kilowatts. The main behavior I'm wanting to watch is if it behaves any better at, like, once it's been plugged in for like 15 minutes, it had a tendency to drop to less than 50 kilowatts for quite a while, and I'm hoping this software change maybe helps in that situation. So if we could get a longer charge than 15-20 minutes, it would be excellent. Because that's the big drawback to the Blazer EV right now. It charges about as well as a Tesla 4680 battery does, which is not very good. For the record, my previous 15% or 10% 15-minute challenge, I would get about 35 kilowatt hours in the battery, I think. So I'm hoping to beat that, or at least match that. It was always pretty decent in the 15-minute challenge. The problem was longer than 15 minutes is where it tended to fall apart. It's still not great in the 15-minute challenge because the efficiency is not very high in the vehicle, and the max power is only 150 kilowatts in mine. If you have the SS or the rear-wheel drive, it has a bigger battery with higher voltage that has better charging characteristics, but still has the limitations that this one does, I think, where it slows down. One thing I noticed is the supercharger stall fan turns on max right away. I don't think it did that for Teslas. I can't recall though. We've been hitting about 150 kilowatts for 6 minutes though, so that's pretty good. Today I'm going to charge up to 80% because that's like it's nice to charge to that number on the highway, because then you can maybe skip a charger or, go a little further or leave some spare. So I'm curious if it does better in the upper range. So we're halfway done and it's 16.6 kilowatts. So this is going to be a pretty typical, or kilowatt hours. This is going to be a pretty typical charge, 15 minutes, I think. Where it's just over between 30 and 35 kilowatt hours is what I usually get. And we're starting to slow down just a little bit there. And this is pretty typical. Like I said, I'm more worried about that 15-minute drop to like 50 kilowatts, where it's really rough. And it takes it a while to recover. I'm using the A to Z adapter today. It's a little better thermally than the Tesla branded adapter, I think. Starting to get a little warm. The cable's actually kind of hot, so that's probably why it's throttling a little bit now. Not a lot though. It's down less than 10%. This is a pretty good supercharger station. It's at a Hy-Vee, and there's also Hardee's and some other places within walking distance. But it's fairly quiet here. So 2/3 of the way in and at 23 kilowatt hours. So we're going to be right on target here, I think. For the most part, the Tesla cable is hotter than the A to Z adapter is, so I think the limitation is more the cable, not the adapter. With the Tesla adapter, that might be different. It's a little lighter adapter. Lighter probably means less metal and it's dissipate heat. So now we're down about 30 kilowatts from peak power. 3 minutes left. Yeah, we're right on target for our 30 to 35 kilowatt hours. So typically the Blazer EV is about 40 minutes to 80%. Right, we're at 15 minutes, 45%, and 33.4 kilowatt hours. So that is right on target. And now let's see what it does for the next 15 minutes. This is where I am hoping for an improvement, because this is where it was worst. The actual 15-minute challenge result should be 35 kilowatt hours because it started at 53 seconds on the app when it was at 0.
The only other vehicle that's been here the whole time that I've been here is a Cybertruck on the other bank of chargers, so we should be good there. It's starting to drop now. That's that 15 minutes that I said. Cable's still about the same temperature. It's warm to the touch, probably like 120 Fahrenheit if I had to guess. And we're slowing down. So now let's see how long the next 32% takes. And I'll leave once it hits 80%. Kind of hoping this stays above 100 kilowatts, though. That would be an improvement. Oh, we're down below 100. We're at 88 kilowatts. $82. This is where I would usually leave, because 51%, that's enough to maybe get 100, 150 real world miles, depending on how fast you're driving. 100 at, say, 80 miles an hour. And then that's probably enough to get to the next charger, and you can charge for just 15-20 minutes a time. I prefer to charge more, but it's what it is. So we're still slowing down. I don't expect a huge improvement, I guess, at this point. Probably comparable. Now, part of this could be the adapter getting hot, because we are using an adapter. But I think the A to Z adapter is pretty good in that regard. If you have two adapters, you can swap them out. And tonight's a cool night, so it's not baking in the sun or anything. $69 kilowatts. And the thing I'll have to do is compare this to my other charge that I did to 80% in kind of similar conditions and see what it does. And I did a full recording of that one too, I think, so it's pretty easy to compare. Just log data every 5 minutes or something and see what it looks like.
catalytic converter is not functioning correctly, or probably doesn't exist in there anymore. Oh, we're down to 60 kilowatts. So I'm guessing no major change in improvement in charging. It's probably some specific corner case if I had to guess. I wish they were more specific in their release notes. Yeah, we're quickly on track to a 40-minute charge here to 80%. Really, my wife's EV6 does 80% in 20 to 25 minutes, so from 10 or it doesn't really matter what percent you start at because it charges so fast. That'll hold over 200 kilowatts to over 50% state of charge though, so it's pretty good. Like, it would still be charging at 200 kilowatts now. It'd just be slowing down. So charging at 4 times the rate. And it's a more efficient vehicle. The Blazer's good efficiency for its size, really. It's not like other makers have bad efficiency. It's that they tend to not concentrate on aerodynamics like Tesla does. Or Lucid or Rivian. Oh, we're down below 50 now. That's bad. So like I said, it's probably some corner case improvement. It's looking like no improvement as far as fast charging is concerned. Maybe if it gets hot weather outside or something, who knows what the corner case is because they didn't say. But as a reminder, my Blazer was a buyback for slow charging, but it charges normal for a Blazer EV. It's just the limitations of a 300 volt system and dealing with heat dissipation without making the vehicle overly expensive. Yeah, you noticed 15 minutes to get to 45%, and it's been 10 minutes to get another 12 or 15%. Now with this vehicle it'll start speeding back up again, but it takes a while. I imagine it's just dissipating some heat, moving it somewhere else. The vehicle's off too, so another Tesla joined us, a Model Y. Cybertruck's been here the whole time I have too, so they've been here at least 25 minutes as well. They're not the fastest charging either. They take about 40 minutes to get to 80%, a little less. like I said, with the Blazer EV, try to keep it to 15-20 minutes. It's just really slow charging above that. I mean, a Bolt EV would be charging as fast right now. It's funny that the Ultium batteries vary so much. Like the higher voltage Silverado and Hummer and GMC Sierra Denali, those charge at like over 300 kilowatts. Cadillac Escalade, they can hit near 400 kilowatts, and they maintain that for a long time. Total opposite of the Blazer EV. Oh, it's speeding back up now, 52 kilowatts. This is where, if you can get past this point, it's not too bad for the rest of the charge. Must be doing some cell balancing and stuff at that point. And how much it slows down seems to vary. Back up to 60 kilowatts almost. The fan in the supercharger has quieted down. And the cable is cold, so it's a battery thing, not a... The adapter is cold too, so... It's a battery thing, not a charger or adapter thing, I guess. That's actually good evidence of that. The vehicle is doing something. In the meantime, I'm just walking laps around the parking lot. Oh man, that's so painful. In 15 minutes, I've only gotten 20%, and I got 35% in the first 15. The car is off too, so I think that bug is only with 800 volt systems because it goes into like 400 volt mode to run the compressor or something like that. I don't know what the detail is exactly. Oh, the Cybertruck left. I don't know how long they were here before I got here though. Slowly creeping back up, 67 kilowatts. Adapter and cable are still cold. My lights turn on every time I walk near my vehicle, so it's kind of irritating. I don't know why, but there's a 1% difference between what's shown in the Tesla app and in the car. I'll start it and see if it makes any difference here. I wouldn't expect any in this car. Charge cord connected. Yes, it is. So inside it doesn't tell me much. It tells me the current charge power, the current miles per hour range increase. Ready by 10:40 p.m. So another hour to get to 100%. It says that would be really painful, an hour and a half. But you shouldn't charge to 100% road tripping anyway. Not at the fast chargers anyway. Do it at home before you leave to get the most range, but not when you're driving on the road. So 70%, 75 kilowatts. We're speeding back up now. We're going 50% faster than we were at the lowest, or more than 50% faster. So like I said, it doesn't take too long to finish the battery. It's like once you get to 60, 65%, you might as well just stay until 80 or 90%. Or until it starts slowing back down again. I'm just going to go to 80% today since I don't want to be here all night. And it's going to cost a lot. This thing has a big battery. We're up to $23 already. When I charge at home, it's what, $5 or something? Because I have really cheap electricity. To 100%. If I charge 0 to 100%, it's $5.
5 cents a kilowatt hour. And it's less than 100 kilowatt hours to charge this thing. The total from the plug might be like 93 kilowatt hours. I've done it a couple times. I've run it down to like 5% or less and slapped on the charger, and it takes 93 kilowatt hours. We're still increasing up to 80 kilowatts. Can we hit 80% by 40 minutes? That's the question. Guessing not, but it'll be close. And it looks like we're going to peak at about 80 kilowatts there. Turn the vehicle off and see if it makes any difference. I mean, it'll make a little difference, but it shouldn't make very much. You know, because more will be going to the battery when it's turned off. Hear a fan running now in the car that wasn't running before. There's a vibration under my foot. It feels like the coolant loop is running to cool the battery. Curious if the power changes at all. Another Tesla just pulled up. They'll stop at 80%. So just a few more minutes. We're not going to make it to 80 by 40 minutes. It's fun to watch the Teslas park because all they do is park, plug in, and they either leave or get back in their car. And it takes all of about 10 seconds to do. It's super easy. You know, it's amazing that people put up with how bad some of the chargers are. You know, I wish every charger had plug and play capability. And if they didn't have that, then they need tap to pay. I use my watch to pay for everything nowadays. It's really annoying when I go to Walmart or something and they don't take tap to pay.
And just so you know, this drive, I've been driving 75 to 80 miles an hour and averaging about 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour. Maybe a little worse because my tire size doesn't quite match, so the trip computer is just a little off. So let's say 2.1. And we've put in 64 kilowatt hours. So we put in 33 in the first 15 minutes. That means we'd probably get about 70 miles at 80 miles per hour, 70, 75 miles. And that's not good as far as that test is concerned, but it's okay. And now for that second half of the charge, we've only gotten another 30 kilowatt hours in another 26 minutes. And that's just really bad. So, yeah. So to get to 80%, it's going to take me, it looks like 42 minutes. The car says 80% now. The app says 79% still because they round differently or whatever. So it looks like 42 minutes. I'm going to call it here in about 10 seconds. I'll wait till it clicks up to 80% in the app. Stop charging. So yeah, there you have it. It took 42 minutes to get to 80% and about 65 kilowatt hours. That's not very good. That means your average power is less than 100 kilowatts, and it's just pretty slow. The first 15 minutes are good though. So it got up, like it averaged well over 100 kilowatt hours kilowatts for the first 15 minutes. So 33 times 4, because 15 is a fourth of an hour, is about 130 kilowatt average power for the first 15 minutes. So that's really reasonable, but it's the second 30 minutes that's really slow. So with that, I'm going to say the update probably didn't make any difference. That's basically the same time as I got before. It probably fixes a certain corner case, but who knows what that corner case is since GM didn't bother to tell us. Don't get your hopes up that the app's going to make a big difference. So with that, I'll get going. So thanks for watching.